place my hand inside the sling, it goes over the sling and under the forestock of the rifle. Hi folks, HR Funk here with another test of the Henry AR7 US Survival Rifle. If you saw my first video on this particular rifle, you may remember I made a comment during the video, maybe it's one I'll live to regret, that I was not testing the rifle in Arctic conditions. I was testing it in the rain that time. That was 5 days ago, and this being northern Ohio in January, the following day the temperature pretty much plummeted. We've been down in the single digits since then. In fact, last night it was down below zero. Right now it is a whopping 6 degrees. So, shockingly, I did not have to fight my way through a crowd out here at the range this morning. I thought, though, while we had these temperatures and we had the snow, I would go ahead and do another quick test on the AR7 rifle under Arctic conditions. Now, while I'm sure it's actually colder in the actual Arctic, here I think 6 degrees is relatively cool. It's not exactly bathing suit weather. What I did to set the stage a little bit for today's test is I took my rifle and I put it in my Jeep last night. So I let it stay out there overnight, like I said, down below zero last night. And right now, I don't know if you can see it, but it's sitting over here in the snow on the table here at the range. What I'm going to do in a couple of minutes is pull it out of there, assemble the rifle. The ammunition stayed loaded in the magazines, all stowed in the buttstock. So I'm going to put it all together, seat a magazine with no more preparation than that, and I'm going to see how it runs. I'm using the same CCI AR tactical ammunition today that I used during my test last Monday. So it ran well during that test. I want to see how it runs under these conditions. I'll just put it together, shoot through both magazines, and we'll see if it functions. Also, in putting it together, I'm just going to brush the snow off the table over here, lay the parts out, and assemble them to see if that causes any issues as well. I think I'm also going to try to assemble it with my gloves on, just to see if that adds any more difficulty to the mix. This is about the conditions that somebody might be pulling that rifle out of if they were in a situation where they had to deploy it, and it was coming out of a vehicle, or it was coming out of an aircraft, or even coming out of some sort of a boat or canoe or some such thing. So again, we're going to put it together, no real preparation, chamber around, and see how it runs. Okay folks, here we go. AR7 under Arctic conditions. Take one. Doing this with gloves on really didn't seem to affect it too much. Okay, I'm going to put this down for a minute, put my hearing protection in, which I hope has warmed up enough to work. I've got the foam earplugs, so we'll see if they're pliable yet or if they're still like little pieces of concrete. They seem to be more or less working. I can't put those on by keeping my gloves on. All right, here we go. First 8 ran pretty well. And the second 8 ran pretty well. AR7 under Arctic conditions. First part of the test has gone pretty well. Folks, I've seen some quote-unquote torture testing of the AR7 rifle on YouTube. Some of it is interesting from an academic standpoint, but I don't know how realistic some of it is. I've seen people jam the receiver full of dirt and sand and things like that. I think maybe a little bit more realistic test might be in a situation like this. What if you drop the rifle in snow like this? Okay, I got snow all along the bolt in the channel for the charging handle. I'm just going to turn around here in a second, at least try to cycle it, and then we'll see if it runs. And I did get a stoppage there. We'll see if we can clear it. Okay, so AR7 versus snow. We did get a stoppage. What I'm going to do next is switch over to a different ammunition. I've got some Winchester hollow point ammunition. I just want to test it out. It is still high velocity round point, or round nose rather, bullets. And I want to see how the Winchester runs in this rifle. And the Winchester runs real well. In fact, I can actually feel a little bit more zip, a little bit more recoil from that Winchester ammunition than I was getting with the CCI. Okay folks, let's try the snow test with the Winchester ammunition. And we have pretty much the same conditions as before. So I'm going to charge the rifle, and we'll see how it runs. I'd say the Winchester passed. In case you're wondering about the target, this is what it looks like. This is all shooting just as fast as I could pull the trigger. I'm basically just point firing from about 10 yards away, not having any problem whatsoever keeping those center mass on the target. So again, the accuracy of the AR7 for its intended purpose is certainly adequate. Okay folks, that pretty much does it for my test of the AR7 under Arctic conditions. I think all in all it ran pretty well. I had one stoppage. I'm not sure how many rounds I fired. I wasn't counting them, but I suppose, I don't know, 30, 35 rounds, something like that. I fired through it this morning. That one nagging stoppage aside, it ran extremely well. The accuracy was good. It's certainly not going to be harmed by the snow and the ice that we have out here today. And you can see it's actually freezing up at the moment. Might have to get it into where it's a little bit warm and thaw it out. Might have to get myself in and thaw myself out too. So in any regard, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those below. And as always, until next time, good shooting. Bye-bye.